Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Podcast Demastered. I'm your host, Ethan Meyer, and I'm joined, as always, by my two very good friends, Wade and Chelsea. And today we're going to be talking about things that we liked, but that we wish we liked a little bit more. So this isn't a full-on episode of negativity. This is all stuff that we liked to a certain extent, but maybe expectations or prior precedents or anything like that may have led us to not like it as much as we thought we would, or et cetera, et cetera. So as always, if you've been listening since the beginning, anytime we do lists, we usually do round robin, so we'll go ahead and do that today. And I think we're gonna start. Let's start with Chelsea. To go ahead and start us off here.
Okay, I will start us off with a TV show.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty old now. It is Smallville.
Oh, okay.
Yes, good old
Nice,
Smallville.
nice.
Clark Kent.
Indeed.
I have never seen Smallville. Sorry, not to jump in there, but I feel like that's one of those.
You're just not old enough, Ethan. That's all. You're just not old enough.
I'm not old enough. I'm older. I'm the oldest one
I'm
here.
younger than Ethan.
I'm the old man here.
Oh man, but no, Smallville. That's something that my family and I would always watch when it was on. It was something we were always excited to watch. But the thing I really enjoyed it. It was just way too long. It was 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And definitely the last couple seasons, it really was just repetitive, and it kind of was dragging along the story. I'm like, okay, we know who Clark Kent is. We knew, he needs to eventually fully, accept being Superman, but let's get there a little faster.
Was there a season that was just full of flashback episodes and that kind of or a clip show, like that kitschy TV thing where it's we kind of ran out of ideas, so let's just do a clip show, or let's just do a montage of stuff we've already done, that kind of thing.
I mean, it kind of has that, but a lot of this, a couple seasons towards the end, it was basically just the same storyline over and over again, it felt like. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, but...
There's only so much you can do with Superman.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, props, I guess, to them. It was 10 long seasons, but... For the most part, it was very enjoyable. It's just, sometimes with TV shows, they feel like they need to go on forever, but they really don't.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that on a whole other episode, but that's part of the reason why I don't watch a whole lot of TV, is I feel like they stretch those things out way, 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 way too long, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then there's those shows where you're just like, oh, they cut it off and we're done after 2 seasons? That's sad, but at least, they set out what they wanted to do.
Yeah, there's the flip to that, too, where you start a show and you're like, wow, I really like this, and then you find out it gets canceled, and you're like, all right, well. Oh, gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is the absolute worst.
TV plays with your heart too much. I can't get behind it.
So. It's funny that Chelsea chose Smallville, because one of my choices was Superman as a whole.
Nice.
I like Superman. He's fine, but I don't know, do something.
He's too perfect. He's too super.
Mm-hmm.
He's always just a Boy Scout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, anytime there's a big story, it's the writers gotta find a way to get rid of Superman or the story's over really quick.
Yep. Yeah, that's 100%.
And Superman doesn't ever have to face a ton of tough challenges, because he's always just oh, well, the choice is simple. You do the right thing, and then he does the thing, and it's just oh, well, I'm glad you were here, Superman. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, that's
he's a boring hero to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Boy Scout aspect of him doesn't bother me, because one of my other favorites in Marvel, which is Captain America, who's also a Boy Scout. But he has weaknesses, you know what I mean? He's not Superman. You don't have to write Captain America out of a storyline so it's only 10 minutes long, Well,
Captain America, though, frequently takes the road less traveled, because he knows that in the end it will be the right thing, and And he always gets tons of resistance and stuff on that, but, like, Superman's like, oh, no, I think the right thing to do is this. And, like, the whole world's like, okay. Like, you know, like, well, if Superman wants to do that, we should probably do that, too. But people are like, oh, Captain America? That doesn't seem right. Let's side with Tony on this one.
Yeah.
And then we have Civil War. And Captain America gets sniped in the head.
Oh, man.
And Aunt May dies. Come on. Come on. And then we get one more day, and I can't do this anymore. I can't.
No.
Freaking one more day. Damn it.
It's really back in, Wade.
It's like Dragon Ball. It all leads back to one more day.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah, that's speaking of Dragon Ball, that's kind of the thing with Goku, is he's basically Superman. An idiot version of Superman, but
yeah, except he's always getting the universe thrown into turmoil.
Yeah, he's like if Superman had like a mental deficiency.
2 brain cells?
Yeah. Like if Superman was autistic or something, that's Goku, because Goku's a fucking idiot and always puts
at least
everything
Superman
in danger.
doesn't like to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Goku's always Goku legitimately
fight a
likes
tree if he could.
Yeah, Goku legitimately just likes to fight people.
In one place.
I thought you were going to say Dragon Ball was on your list, Ethan.
Oh, no.
I know, I thought that's what I was going to say, too. Dragon Ball is peak perfection, Chelsea. One day you'll understand.
Yeah, Dragon Ball would,
That day will never come, but okay.
The eyes. The eyes.
Yeah.
So, Ethan, what about you? What's on your list?
Well, I'll start off with a game. It's sort of cheating, because I actually have a few games on this list, and none of them I have finished. All of them I enjoy playing, but there's that thing that's not quite there to like put me over the hump to, I guess, want to finish them, or they're all, like I said, they're all things that I like playing, that I enjoy them and I can see the merits for them, but I just don't like it enough to want to try and roll credits on. So that first one is I already mentioned in our offline group chat, but is Breath of the Wild. I respect Breath of the Wild for what it is and everything they are able to achieve, and the scope of it and the grandeur of it and the art design and just a lot of things about it. But there's just certain little aspects of it that I just can't, that kind of pull me out of it. And I've started that thing up maybe 3, 4, 5 times, and I can never just like find the will to want to finish it, I guess. But every time I play it, I enjoy playing it, but just not enough to, I guess, keep with it. Like, I always kind of fall off it pretty hard,
That sounds like you with Skyrim too.
Well, spoiler alert, Skyrim's my other one.
There's a common thing.
Skyrim was...
Maybe it's...
Well, might as well
that's the
talk.
thing there.
It's for two different reasons.
I'd
like,
say...
With Breath of the Wild, like, the open nature of it isn't what really turned me off on it. I actually really enjoyed that aspect of kind of just being let loose, and the map's pretty void of anything, usually you get these like open world games and your map is just like a vomit of all these different icons of things you have to go do and people you got to go talk to and side quests and this, that, and the other, and it's overwhelming. And Breath of the Wild is very void of all of those things. And I liked that because it was a little freeing. The stuff I didn't like about Breath of the Wild was more like, I didn't like the weapon degradation, like, at all.
You and everybody else.
I understand why it's in the game, and it doesn't bother me when you have that in a game, but I feel like it was turned up to 11.
Yeah,
where
sure.
I shouldn't find like a sword on the ground and then like after 2 enemies it breaks. You know, you know what I mean? Like that's a little too. That's too much for me. Like I'm fine with them. Like they put it in there because they wanted you to kind of explore all the different weapons of the game and have to feel like you didn't just find one and use it for the whole experience. I get that. But this is a huge game, so I think if I had a sword for 5, 6, 7 hours, that would be fine, instead of 5 minutes. And I would constantly have full inventory of weapons, and in one combat encounter, 6 of them would break. I'm just like, this is bullshit.
That's insane. Gosh.
Maybe you're doing something wrong then.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I didn't like the stamina meter for climbing. Now I know you can increase it and whatever, but there's so many open world games out there that don't have that I play a lot of. So it's kind of just I got used to not having to worry about stamina when I'm climbing anything. So, and there's always those times in Breath of the Wild when you start climbing a mountain and then it starts raining, and it's just
slide on down.
There's just so many things in that game that just like kind of kill the momentum, if that makes sense.
I can see that.
Because like that game is incredible when you're like riding high. There's some stuff in that game that's just like, wow, this is amazing, and like the physics behind it that they built in that game, and some of the stuff that you can do with the with all those tools at your disposal. But you get going, you get all this momentum building, and then something stupid happens, and it's just like, I don't want to play anymore. It's just
fair enough.
So yeah. If and when Breath of the Wild 2 ever comes out, hopefully, I'm assuming they'll keep all this in there, but hopefully they turn it down a little bit. Otherwise,
that'd be nice with the weapons.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna be interested too much. So, not to go again, but yeah, since I already spoiled it, Skyrim was Skyrim's another one. I'm pretty sure I've started this game over maybe 3 or 4 times on at least 3 different systems. So, and I get about the same amount of time into it before I just stop. It's usually about 20-30 hours in. I look at my log, realize I've accomplished nothing, get discouraged, and kind of just stop playing. Because it's just too open. There's too much. You'll start a quest, and then walking to that quest, you pick up 40 other quests, and you start doing those, and by the time you finish that, you forget what you were doing 30 hours ago, and then you lose the thread on the story, and then nothing matters, and then you're just like, why am I playing this? So, it's one of those things. But every time I played it, I've started it 3 times, like I said, because I thoroughly enjoy that world in Skyrim specifically, not just like Elder Scrolls, but the map in Skyrim was, especially when that came out in 2011, like that was impressive. Just seeing something in the distance, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to walk there. 10 hours later, you get there. But yeah, I mean, both Skyrim and both Breath of the Wild are experiences that I like playing, and I would recommend to people who like those sort of games. But just with the premise of this episode, I just wish I liked them a little bit more to make me want to try and finish them. I don't even know if there is a finish in Skyrim besides just the main story. I want to say, I'm pretty sure those side quests maybe just like randomly generated, because I think at one time my quest log had like 75 quests in it, and they were like as stupid as like go find a carrot and bring it to somebody, and some that are like so involved that it would take countless hours to finish. So some of that stuff kind of just beats you down a little too much, Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, side quests can really get in the way of the main storyline, and happens to me a lot in lots of games.
And like, there's nothing wrong with side quests, because some of them can be like really good, but I feel like if there's games that can just have too many available at once, Like Skyrim, like as soon as the game opens up where you're in free roam, you could just like turn a corner and there'll be like 7 side quests available. And it's just like, what in the shit is happening? Like, I'm just trying to find like some old man's hut, and now I'm fighting vampires. I don't even know what's happening anymore. So, I think stuff like that can just kind of it gets a little carried away.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
But Chelsea, what's another one for you?
Well, mine is a video game actually, and it's Vampire. Now, this was a game that I did finish.
Oh, yeah, I remember this game.
Yeah, I played this, I think it was in 2020. I think it was also one of the Plus games for October that year.
Yep.
And so you're basically Dr. Jonathan Reed, and he becomes a vampire during the Spanish flu in London. And so you basically just kind of like have to decide if you're gonna be like a good doctor or, you know, just go on full on bad vampire throughout the game.
Oh my god.
It's a really cool game, and it's definitely one where if you want to like spend the time to listen to all the dialogue with everybody, talk to everybody, you know, kind of build up the different areas and stuff, like it's really, really neat. And it's a good game. The one problem I had with this game was I realized I really, really wanted fast travel.
Yeah.
Yes, because one of the game mechanics is that you can like kill a bunch of enemies and stuff, and they will not respawn unless you die or you save the game. So it's fine for a while until, you know, you have to leave to go do something, so you have to save it, or, you know, you die.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's definitely really rough in the beginning when you're starting out, because I chose to be, you know, the good doctor, more or less, and, you know, not try to just kill all the random people and, you know, build up my abilities that way. So it made the game more challenging in that regard. And
yeah,
that
sounds like hard mode for your vampire.
Yeah, it kind of was. It's kind of funny. But there would be different areas where you'd have to, like, I'd make it all the way through the map without dying or anything, and then I would go back to the next part of the story, and then I realized, oh, I forgot something, like, for a side quest or for another thing. I should have gone all the way back over there to do that. So it definitely got frustrating at times, and I think because of the lack of fast travel in the game, I probably won't play it again, but I really do want to play it again, because since you can choose that kind of good, bad aspects, there's actually multiple endings for the game.
Oh,
and
nice.
Just lots of things that can happen during the game.
Isn't it like I remember when you were playing that game?
Mm-hmm.
I kept, like, you know, on like a weekly basis, I would reach out. I'm like, hey, you still playing this game? And you're like, yeah, I'm still playing it. And I'm just like, wow, this seems like a very long game for like a AA like budget title, basically, because it's like a smaller studio. And didn't you say it was like 40 hours or 30 or 40 hours you put into that or something?
Yeah, it was close to that amount, because it was one of, I think, the top games for the year for me on the year review thing from PlayStation. Yeah. It was because there were parts where I died a lot, so I definitely spent a lot of time on some of the parts. But it was definitely pretty lengthy, especially because I did do all the side quests and I listened to everybody talk. Like, I listened to all the dialogue, but I was very impressed. Yeah, for it to be, you know, kind of that indie title and everything. It's very well done. I think there were rumors that there was going to be a sequel, but I'm not sure if that's still...
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think playing it as like since you tried playing it good, or you know, Paragon or whatever, that it made the game longer? Do you think it would have been faster if you were just murdering everyone and not being a good vampire doctor?
Well, I think either way, for my first time playing through it, I think it still would have been probably pretty long, because I wanted to like listen to everybody's stories and, you know, try to see what everybody wanted or whatever, deciding different things. But it did seem, when I looked at stuff about the game, that the game is slightly easier if you choose the like evil path and everything, and you get your abilities faster, and you get
That's true. Yeah, I feel like that's true for a lot of games. If it has like a good bad, they always try and make the evil character like more tantalizing, you know, for easier play style, because you can just be, you know, kind of feed into that a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Well, they
like,
say that
easy.
art reflects real life.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, not to deviate too much, but since you're playing Mass Effect, are you going full renegade, or are you trying to be a good shepherd? Are you punching journos in the face?
Guess on that. I am full Paragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Always. I always am.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I have a choice, that's just what I do.
I was definitely a gray area shepherd. I don't think I was, because like once you get through the 3 games, like there's this journalist character that's just awful, and I think it's either in 2 or 3, but I definitely punched that person in the face, which is a straight up renegade move.
Oh wow!
Gosh.
So like I was doing this conversation with one of the main characters yesterday. You know, I like to use all of the dialogue options because I like to get the full story and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But apparently I chose a renegade option at some point because at the end of the conversation it was like, you know, plus 20 Paragon points and plus 2 renegade points. And I was like, oh god, oh no, what have I done? Like, oh, that poor person, like I was so mean to them.
I hurt that person's feelings.
I did. That's exactly like, how could I do that to this poor computer program who totally understands? I did legit. I was like, oh god, I hope that doesn't come back to bite me later. It probably won't. I'll probably be okay.
I feel like looking back on Mass Effect, I definitely feel like some of the decisions were well crafted enough that always kind of makes you, you know, none of them, they don't ever seem so easy. Like a lot of them kind of put you on the fence, because sometimes the renegade option seems like the better thing to do in some of the bigger decisions in the series. Which is, it's kind of, I don't know, you'll get there, but I feel like that game does a really good job making you at least think about it. You know, besides just being like, oh yeah, that's just good. You know, it's just like, oh shit. Like if you fully.
Not...
What?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if you play like RPGs like that, especially games that have like a Paragon Renegade system where you actually fully invest yourself into the world and the character, some of them can kind of give you a head spin a little bit. At least it did for me. That's why
as long as throwing Ashley under the bus isn't renegade, then I'll be okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not renegade if you just leave her where you can in the first game.
It's a must.
I've known since I booted that game up that she would not be the one continuing to live. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
mean.
it's like
she's racist.
I think it's like an honorable thing.
She like wants to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
of course, when I played, I sent what was the guy's?
Caden. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent him instead. Yeah.
He's a nice boy. Why would you do that to him?
Hey, he died for what he believed in, you know.
You could have literally killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Get rid of Ashley. She could have her honorable death, and you lose a bitch. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think in mine, Ashley lived like all the way to the end of the series or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, lucky girl.
I told you when I played this game, a lot of decisions did not play out the way I have to live with my mistakes.
I only made 1 mistake in that game. That's what I'd like to say.
Yeah. I made a lot.
Mistake?
Was my a big mistake? Yes, personally, I think it was a big mistake in the second game. When I would like to redeem myself when I play it again later this year.
Oh.
Well, you'll have to. You'll have to tell me about it once I get to that point.
Yeah, you need to tell me. You need to tell me offline.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I could write like a short story about all the mistakes I made playing that series. So
that could be a podcast episode. We'll discuss the series.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Little inside baseball here, listeners. So
there you go. But back to our actual
back to
episode. I
Is
think
it
we're
Wade?
on to Wade.
Yeah, Wade.
Okay, so mine is another video game. And it's... And I can't blame it for anything. It's really probably more me than the game. But Witcher 3.
Oh yeah.
I've started to play it like 3 or 4 times in the last, like, God, I don't even know how long. But like I can't just keep playing it. I get a little bit farther every time. But I just don't... I'm not really sure what it is that, like, makes me stop playing it. I just kind of, like, put the controller down and never come back to it. Usually, I go get back on Skyrim. Because The Witcher gives me, like, stupid Skyrim vibes.
The Witcher, I think, also, to keep that comparison going between Witcher and Skyrim, I think Witcher is more intimidating and sort of dense, where Skyrim is a little bit more like kind of easily to grasp, especially like the systems and the mechanics. Like Skyrim's kind of easier to kind of pick up and play, but the Witcher has a lot of aspects to it. A lot of menus within menus within menus just to make a potion.
That's true. Yeah, I would go into combat in The Witcher and be like, I don't even know what's about to happen.
Yeah, even the combat in that game is
start swinging.
The combat in that game is very like skill based, where Skyrim it's like stat based. It's just like, all right, I got a giant axe, I'm going to swing it, you know. I'm fighting a guy with a dagger and I have an axe. I'm probably going to win this fight. So, and
true story.
Yeah,
there.
everything about The Witcher is sort of intimidating, and it can turn a lot of people off. Because I'm kind of in the same boat. I've played that on the PlayStation and on my Xbox, and yeah, got about 15, 20 hours into both of them, and I keep falling off of it just because it's just a lot, you know. So it's also a big game. It's like on average like 200 some odd hours to finish it, just the main story. So it's a big undertaking. Have you ever played it, Chelsea?
No, I haven't played any of them.
You haven't played Skyrim either?
No.
You like ESO? I figured you
Yeah.
should. Figured you've played Skyrim.
No, I mean, I probably would like it, but I'm like, well, I already have ESO, and that's enough, and I'll never be able to finish everything in that game.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
serious. ESO could almost be like a special one on this episode, honestly, for me. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But, and like, really, I just play for like the story and stuff. But like, goddamn, it's an MMO. Like, I need you to put me in front and just like tell me a direction to walk in. Like, I need the story to move like linearly. Like, just go.
Yeah.
There's so many, because you can go anywhere like at any time and start that area's story, and like it's kind of just whatever. You can start the game and jump into the newest expansion story, like whatever. But I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Like in 14,
it can be very
It's a
convoluted.
lot at once.
In 14, it's just like the story is a straight line. Like, you can't just jump straight to Endwalker. You got to do everything else first.
Yeah.
And like, if you're starting now and you have the base game and 4 expansions, like, yeah, that's a lot. But like you can pace yourself because you know like what you're getting into. But man, with Elder Scrolls, I just probably closer to the end of the school year I'll jump back into it. But like, I just like, man, I need a guide or something to tell me to do this story and then this story and then this story, because I'm like, all this stuff can't just take place whenever. I need some kind of timeline, damn it.
ESO. Yeah, ESO for me was always like an interactive chat room.
Kind of, yeah.
Like I never
In a way.
I never really cared what was happening because, you know, not playing when it like you said, since it's not like a linear storyline and coming in and just getting stuff like piecemeal and everything and out of order, and it's just it's Elder Scrolls, so it is what it is with that stuff. But it's like I would just go in there and just, you know, like it's something I wouldn't really play too much on my own. It's more just like, hey, get some friends together, go do some dungeons, go kill some stuff, and the story was always kind of secondary. Yeah. But I feel like in a broader sense, I could just have MMOs on my list. Like, I wish I liked MMOs more, like in general. Like, I feel like if I was like 12 again and had just like unlimited free time and no responsibilities, I would love games like this, but they're like outside of my grasp at this point where I'm at.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's just a game. It's kind of like a time killer in a way, but especially when you have less time to do stuff, it's like games that are more focused are a lot better to work or play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to be very intentional with what I'm playing now because I have such limited time to do so. So firing up ESO is like the last thing I want to do, you know? So, and like I said, when I play it, it's fun. I always have fun playing it.
Oh yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I wish I liked it more. You know, I wish I had more time. I guess is where that category comes into play.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I wish there was just more hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's fair. Let's see.
So I got one more game on mine.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, continue. I'm ready.
So I've played this game twice now, not to completion, but I played it when it first came out, and then I got it again last year. I bought the Royal Edition and just started over, and played it again, and both times playing it, there was aspects of it that I really liked and that I was having a lot of fun with, and then there's like I guess there's like a running theme with some of these where I feel like some of these games are just like too much all at once, I guess. And with like 15, this is kind of a thing with a lot of JRPGs with their combat encounters are random and very repetitive, and the whole idea of grinding, and I just don't like grinding at all, really, in games. Mm-hmm. And it's not like 15's combat is bland, because it's not. It's actually pretty fun. But I remember the last time I played, I was running across a field to turn in a quest, and I had the same drop ship fly over me, land, drop out 15 ships. Guys. I'd fight them all, kill them. I'd run another 20 yards, and the same fucking drop ship would just pop up again, drop another 15. I'm like, this is going to take me 2 hours just to run 100 yards to turn this damn quest in because these stupid-ass drop ships.
Those drop ship fights are so stupid because sometimes it's like, I see the guy right there, but goddamn, I'm fighting for my life now because there's like 60 people here I gotta kill.
Yeah,
like, and I was fine, and then where'd you all come from?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can't run away.
That's the thing I don't like about it is it's just so... They just like kind of appear. It's just like spawning random enemies into the game world. And you kill them all, and you get like mild, you get some this and that, a little mild stat boost or buffs or gear or whatever, whatever grinding bullshit. But like that stuff just like takes a toll on you after a while, and it kind of, all the best aspects of that game start to diminish when it just becomes like unfun to even play the game. You know what I mean? Because like whatever was happening in the story, I was totally into, and once you kind of learn to accept the dude bro like companions and that whole like nature and like the road trip aspect and all that stuff, if you get past that, you know, it's fine. You kind of just you kind of understand who these guys are, and you kind of just move on with your life. You know, they're not awful, but they're also of a kind. So, but yeah, just like there's so many things in that game that I liked. Like hell, even just like fishing. I had so much fun just fishing in that game. Like there's just like a little fishing mini game, and it's so stupid and pleasant. But I loved it. But yeah, and then you know, then you go back out into like this open aspect, and you just do the same fight over and over and over and over and over until you're numb, and you're just like, all right, I'm done playing this.
Man, if they could have just got rid of like the multitude of dropship fights,
yeah,
like that's fine. I got to the point with me like, if I could, because you can hear the airship coming,
yeah,
and I'd look around and like see like the direction, or like where it's dropping off the troops. And I would take, like, a mile-wide berth. I'd be like, nope, not today. Oh, is it almost nighttime? Too damn bad. I guess I'm getting murdered because I'm not going that way.
Yeah, it'd be at nighttime, and a dropship would drop, and then you got all these night monsters fighting you, and I'm just like, this is bullshit. It's like, I'm just trying to get to my car. Like,
seriously.
Yeah, stuff like that, to me, you know, armchair game designer here, but stuff like that is just, like, padding, and it's unnecessary. Just let me play the story that you've crafted and stop trying to slow me down. Like that's the stuff that makes me not want to play these like really big games. Is I feel like if I'm being pushed the opposite direction and it doesn't feel worthy of my time, then I start to fall off. So, but yeah, all three of these games, you know, Breath of the Wild, Final Fantasy 15, and Skyrim, they all have their charm, and they all have things that I really like about them, but it's just, you know, just that little bit is enough to make me not want to continue, you know? Sorry, listeners, I have my fingers really small together. For the audio listener. Yeah, they're so small.
They're so close right now.
Maybe I'll rub my fingers on the mic for the audio listeners. You can feel the distance.
Get some ASMR in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, everybody, start to like talk really quietly now.
Yeah.
Right against your mic.
Yeah, Chelsea, whisper your next one. Talk softly to me.
I'll tell you. Okay, no. We're gonna move past that. Okay, my next one.
ASMR is something I wish I liked more.
Oh boy. There we go. Well, my next one. So, I had a TV show, a video game. This one is a movie.
Nice.
This movie came out in 2021.
Nice.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Now, I think this is a pretty good movie. The cinematography is freaking amazing. Disney has continued to push themselves in new ways with their animations and everything, and, you know, Raya herself is a really cool character. You see, the problem, though, I had with the movie was that, unlike some TV shows like Smallville that are way too long, you have movies that are way too short. And I think they had a lot in this movie. There was so much to explore. They spent so much time setting up these different tribes, and this whole thing, it was like legit like an epic quest. And I don't know if this movie could have been 2.5 hours long. It could have been a TV show. I just wanted more of this world. I wanted more of the characters. Some things just felt really rushed. Disney, give me more. This was your opportunity to make a TV show.
That's kind of a good problem to have, is when the credits roll and you're like, man, I really want more of this, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the few movies that they can actually do a sequel for and it feels worthy instead of...
Yeah.
I'd love that, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd like a sequel, but it's also different just because some of the things
they wrapped up in a hurried fashion or whatever.
Yeah, and it just you wouldn't be able to do it in a sequel.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't know what they had, so
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I've seen. Speaking on the cinematography, I've seen screenshots of it, and I'm just like, wow, this looks incredible. Like some of these, look photorealistic.
It's a very pretty movie. It is.
Yeah, some of the wide shots, some of the landscape shots are like, wow, this is choice. So,
but that's all you get of it. I want more of it.
A lot of that.
Yeah,
the movie starts with a lot of that, I think. And when I first watched the movie, I was like, I thought this was an animated movie because it's so it's just so good. It's so good. Those shots are.
It's so beautiful, but it's also then rushed, and then it's like, oh, she's been doing this for 6 years, and I'm like, wait, I want to see that 6 years. I want to see some build up there. So,
dude, seriously, yeah, they skipped a lot of stuff there in the middle.
I wanted more fleshed out relationships in this movie. Just there's so many great characters in it, and so yeah,
You mean the baby?
I wish I liked it more because it needed more. Oh my gosh, all of them. Yes, baby.
I need more of the terrifying baby.
Oh my gosh, little baby.
They did do a really
Definitely
good job with it.
Worth a watch, but yes, I wish I liked it more if it was longer.
Yeah, it's been on a watch list queue on Disney Plus for quite some time, along with several other things. So maybe this year I'll get to it, because it is stunning. I just remember when it came out, I felt like the marketing was bad, and I never really knew what it was about. You know what I mean? Sometimes they can just kind of they don't. I have the same problem with the newest Spider-Man. I just thought the marketing for it was not good, so it just never made me excited for it. Same with Raya. I remember seeing trailers for it, and I'm just like, I don't really know what this is, so I don't really care to watch it. And then I remember it coming out, and you guys were like, "Oh, this movie's amazing. It's so good. It's beautiful, and this, that, and the other." And yeah, so maybe I'll get to it one of these days. It's still just sitting there. It's still just sitting there.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'll watch that before I watch Encanto or whatever. Is that what it is? Encanto? Isn't that the newest Disney animated movie? The Lin-Manuel Miranda one. Yeah.
I mean, I ignore that, but yes it is.
Yeah. Well, Wade, do you have another one?
Yeah, I have. I've got two more, and I don't know where to go. One of them isn't terribly there's not much to talk about. It's a genre of video games. Just shooters.
Oh, okay.
In general,
no.
Yeah. I'm bad at them. I'm bad at them. They give me zero serotonin. And I wish it wasn't that way. 'Cause I've growing up and stuff, all of my friends liked shooters, and it wasn't anything that I could join in on. I would sit there on the couch and watch, and that'd be about it.
Yeah.
But there was nothing there for me to enjoy, and I wish that my brain was different and I could, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're actually missing out on the game itself, or are you missing out on just a more multiplayer collaborative experience? Because a lot of shooters are a lot of just hanging out with friends, shooting each other.
It's definitely that the social experience in it all.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I love shooters, is for that. That's the only part of my life where I'm competitive, is playing a shooter, That's the only time that I
See, and maybe that's my thing too. I am not a competitive person in in anything. Maybe that has a lot to do with it.
I mean,
I could see that. Yeah.
a lot of aspects of my life, I'm not competitive. I don't have a lot of testosterone fueling my decision making for a lot of things. So, but there's just something about shooters that just like, just I don't know. I don't know if it's also because that's one of the genres that I've been playing probably the most and for the longest. Like I've played a lot of shooters and for a very long time, like 20 some odd years been playing shooters. So it's like the thing that feels, it's like muscle memory for me. It just feels, it's like comfort food. It just feels good to play them, like this newest Halo. As soon as I fired up, put that controller in my hand, it's like I haven't missed a minute from like 2001 when the first one came out. It felt the exact same. Not just like nostalgic, but just playing it just like felt right. I'm just like, all right, cool. It's 20 years ago and I'm playing Halo, So it's just
Well, Wade, I understand about not loving shooters. Like I definitely have played them more. I like to say Ethan corrupted me. We'll say he probably
corrupted.
I didn't say it was bad corruption.
Is there good corruption?
Well, we'll see. But no, I mean...
Jeez.
No, you introduced me to shooters. That is true.
Yeah, and they're fun.
I think they're pretty fun, but I'm very selective on what I like to play that are shooter aspects.
Well, I'm trying to think. So we've played a lot of Battlefield. Mm-hmm. We've played a lot of Battlefront, which is basically the same thing but Star Wars. And then we've played Destiny. Is there another shooter?
Well, I was just thinking of like a first-person shooter that was a single player that you also introduced me to, and that was oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking out now.
Must have been really good.
No, wait, what is it called? Something Infinite. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Bioshock.
Yeah, Bioshock. Okay, I was going on BioWare. Yeah. I'm like, that is wrong.
Yeah, Bioshock.
Oh, that's a whole different thing almost. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just kind of fits in that same category in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, shooters definitely get a bad rap, I think, because when you think shooters, you think stuff like Call of Duty, and you just kind of think about like that culture and that type of game. But there's a lot of shooters out there that have amazing characters and storylines and are like worthy to play single player experience. Like Halo is a good example. The Halo story and the Halo lore is incredible. Multiplayer is just kind of like a nice bonus to have with it. And stuff like Bioshock, like the storyline in Bioshock is, amazing. Like pretty much in all of them. Mm-hmm. Half-Life is like revered for its storyline. So there's a lot of things out there that are worthy for people who just like playing narrative games. Mm-hmm. They have a shooter body, but the storylines can be just as captivating as a RPG or what have you. Mm-hmm. I just think a lot of people just think shooters and just automatically think of these like big competitive multiplayer experiences, and a lot of times you don't have you can bypass that. I like playing those big multiplayer experiences, but I also like a good shooter that has an awesome story. So
that's fair.
So yeah, maybe since Chelsea, since you hate Xbox, you'll never experience Halo.
Wish I liked it more.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not on here. But
No,
you don't like it.
You go.
You don't like it at all, so you can't even say more. Like you love
Another
it.
time we'll discuss that.
Maybe
Another time.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Wade, what was your other one? You said you had two.
It's okay. So it's actually music. related.
Okay.
Country music and jazz music.
Do you really wish you liked country more?
Well, okay, so I have to give this spiel like 700 times a school year.
Okay.
I like country music, but I like older country music.
Yeah.
I do not like modern country music. I tell my kids, there was a time in the 2000s when the country music industry shifted, and it went from being a style of music to being like lyrical expression.
Yeah.
So it's like pop music about country things,
Right.
but not even really. But not even really. Like I always tell the kids, I'm like, go back and look, listen to like Toby Keith or Shania Twain or Dolly Parton, even Johnny Cash, stuff like that. Like I like that. I like those people, and there's more too. But I like those people. Faith Hill. But I like the new country stuff. Every time I hear a new song, I'm just like, like I don't relate. I don't relate to it at all. And it's like, music-wise, it's just very generic, like pop.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
And then jazz music. I'm just too white, I guess. I'm too square. I can't do it.
I love jazz, but
I've been in jazz bands and stuff. I've performed jazz for years, but like I've taught jazz. I just can't. I can't listen to it. I can't.
I think
my job, and
jazz is a good. Jazz for me is like a state of mind. It's like mood music. It's something that I would put on in the background, but I'm not actively listening to it. But it's something to fill the space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't listen to jazz. Like I don't like put on headphones and just like listen to jazz and just like really get invested with it. But I'll turn it on. Like basically all of December, I just listened to like instrumental like Christmas jazz like the whole month. You know what I mean? Where it's just like like a sick saxophone just like riffing on like Christmas tunes. Like I don't know. I really like jazz, but for me, it's kind of just like it's like a tone setter almost. Like I'll be like cleaning the house and I'll just like put on some low key, just like moody jazz or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing when I was in college, and like anytime I would write a paper or do something like study, I would always put on like instrumental or like classical music or like film scores and stuff like that. I'm not actively listening to it, but it's something to just like fill my headspace while I'm doing something
like
else.
Those things, I can actively listen to those things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can, but like it's all I kind of use them the same way I use jazz. It's like. It's something so it's not just like dead air, because I don't like silence. I gotta have like something happening, whether it's a podcast or music or the TV on or something. Like I just don't like silence, I guess. So
on Friday while my kids were doing their schoolwork, not even schoolwork because we didn't do much on Friday, but I played the Skyrim soundtrack throughout the classes, my high school classes. And nice. There's always a handful of kids who are like, they'd walk in and stop and be like, is that Skyrim? They'd be like, thank you, I like you a lot right now. Like, you're a cool kid, good job.
A+.
And then it'd always be followed with like, hey, can you play the one that goes like da na 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 na? I'm like, oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a good time.
That's another. I mean, that's another podcast episode right there. Is video game music. We'll get into that. We'll get into that one, listeners.
Oh, we will. Indeed.
That's a tease.
Yes.
That's a tease. But yeah, Wade, I'm definitely with you on country. I like a lot of like old, like rebel rock or rebel country. Like Haggard and Cash and stuff like that. But modern country is. I just kind of group it in with like kind of like that mainstream radio, like pop music that all just kind of sounds the same. You can be singing about rednecks, or you can be singing about like street racing and all just whatever the shit. It's all sounds the same to me.
Yeah.
I actually like country music to me now and today, like nowadays, it just like if I want to listen to like those kind of troubles, I'll just listen to bluegrass or like folk, you know, like that's like country. That's what country music should be, I guess.
Yeah. like Bob Dylan and stuff.
Well, not even just, but like, you know, like you get some like deep hill country West Virginia bluegrass group sing about like working in the coal mine or something. You know what I mean? Like that's like some actual issues as opposed to like modern country singers singing about how they have too many Ford trucks in their parking lot or whatever. And it's just like, who the fuck relates to this? So yeah. So with that, we'll take a break and come back with my final. I wish I liked it more. It's a big one. It's a big one. Right after this. All right, and we're back.
All right.
And I got
Tell us your secret.
I got my last. I wish I liked it more. This one comes with a little bit of a. This one is a sort of encompassing of TV and film. It's also not finished yet, so this may be premature. But I wish I liked Phase 4 of the MCU more. The stuff that I've seen, granted, like I said, I still haven't seen everything, but the stuff that I have seen has just kind of left me whelmed, I guess. Like, it's all fine. Mm-hmm. It's all enjoyable.
Well, but what all have you seen? Like, I've seen a couple shows and one movie?
I've seen everything besides Spider-Man and Eternals. I'm like halfway through Hawkeye, and I just don't. It's a show, I guess.
You have to finish Hawkeye. No, you.
I mean, I know how it ends. I've already read everything because I figured I wasn't going to finish it anyways. So, and it's just like
you still have to finish it.
And it's like
no.
Like, I haven't seen Eternals. That's the one that I really want to watch. It's interesting to me that it's also like the lowest rated Marvel thing. Mm-hmm. Which
people are whiny. Actually, I think you'll like Eternals. People are whiny because Eternals isn't exactly like all of the other MCU movies.
Yeah, and see, that's why I want to watch it.
It's more of like an actual movie.
That was the point. I feel like that's what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely tired of the formula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like it's not.
I think this will help you a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not. They're not bad. They're competent. Everything is competent. Everything does what it sets out to do. It's just, you know, we're 12 years into this thing, and it's, I don't know. Like, I don't hate any of this stuff. It's
well,
just,
like, it just kind of depends on like your perspective on it a lot too. You know, like they finished like the huge story. You know, like the actual goal, they got there. So like if I don't know, like if you're expecting another huge setup for another huge thing,
it's not. It's like this is so. Yeah, coming off of the Infinity Saga, where it's you kind of hit your peak, you kind of hit your apex there, and now you got to kind of pick up the scraps and kind of start over again. But this is kind of just showing me that this is why these characters were scraps to begin with, because none of them are very interesting to me. Like, there's a reason why they were all B-side in the Infinity Saga, I guess. And these stories, to try and flesh them out, are fine. They're just... Once I finish it and time goes by, I don't really remember anything about it. And that's kind of not, you know, what I want, I guess. Like, I want them to be a little bit more memorable. I want these shows to be more memorable. Like, I can't even go back and... I was talking about this the other day. I can't even remember what the hell even happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, at all. Like, I don't remember characters' names. I don't even remember what the the villain group, what, like the Hand or something, the Black Hands or whatever, like, and WandaVision was a great tribute to, you know, serial television, but it was whatever as a Marvel show, I guess, and for Wanda. And Loki was really good, but it's also just kind of set up, and you know, like to Wade's point, a lot of this is just set up, and it's kind of just everyone kind of holding their breath, waiting for something to happen, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in it for the long haul anymore. Like, I feel like it was novel when Phase 1 happened and you got all this set up and you're just like, holy shit, this is like new and exciting and I don't know what's going to happen. And then now with Phase 4 feeling kind of the same way, it's kind of just tiresome at this point. And like I said, none of these things are bad. They were all made well enough. They're all great Marvel properties. And for fans out there of Marvel Comics and these characters, and they're getting these things and it's filling their cup, that I'm happy for you. Keep it, you know, that's awesome. I'm not one of you because I have no reverence for Marvel Comics at all. Didn't really read them. These characters aren't that super important to me. I'm kind of here for like MCU as like the visual, like film TV medium, and with that in mind, it's just kind of boring me at this point. And yeah, I need something to, like, you know, I kind of talked about this in our New Year's resolutions a little bit, rekindling some love for some things. I wish I could rekindle my love for the MCU, because the Infinity Saga, like riding high, you know, getting up to like Phase 3, I was just like, you know, listeners, I got my hand like way up above my head right now. You know, it's up here with it. I was really, really excited, and like nothing was gonna bring me down. And now I'm kind of just like, I feel spent. You know, I feel like I need some time to pass.
I understand.
Because I kind of just feel exhausted with it all, and it just keeps coming. It keeps coming. It keeps coming, and stuff's just is like being jammed down my throat. And I'm just like, it's too much. I can't, you know. And yeah. So I don't. It's not like I'm shitting on any of this stuff. It's all good. And for the people who are still super invested, I'm happy for you guys. I wish I was one of you. You know, I wish I liked it more. But I'm kind of just. Yeah. I feel like I'm at like a crossroads with it all. You know, if that makes sense.
Maybe you just need some more DC.
Yeah, but DC's sucks. Like, they're such a shit house. Like, they don't know what they're doing. And like, those are characters I actually like, and I you know, that I have some quote unquote like reverence for in terms of like comics and stuff, and those characters have been around with me in childhood form longer than Marvel stuff has. But man, DC in terms of like film and television, like, what the fuck are you guys even doing anymore? Like, I can't. That's a whole nother episode. Like, Jesus Christ, get your house in order. You know, figure your shit out. At least I credit Marvel. Like, they have a plan. They know what they're doing, and you know, they're organized, and I can appreciate that. I wish some of those people, you know, would send some tips over to Warner Brothers and show them how to actually build a universe that makes sense. But it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen, because they keep just like starting over and recycling and recasting and fucking up, and it's just, no, DC's a damn mess. It's yeah.
Poor DC.
Yeah, poor DC.
I wish you liked it more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wish I hated it less.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, MCU.
Well, we've got the Batman coming out soon, so
yeah,
nice.
That's like an elsewhere story that I'm excited for. But yeah,
well, I mean, it'll all be elsewhere from now on, pretty much. So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, MCU Phase 4. I don't know. You're just kind of like a black sheep, I guess, for me. You kind of just like whatever. So yeah. Well, I'm curious. I know we're gonna get into this, but do you guys have any sentiment at all in regards to that at all? Like, do you guys have any inkling of that in the deepest roots of your Marvel fanboy, fangirl, like, selves? Or is it just me?
It's not just you.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's not me.
Sorry, Wade, you're that player.
Well, for me it's like we hit Endgame, the culmination of all of these things. And in a way, it's kind of like they have finally broken so many like barriers into like what they can do in the MCU and how they can use their characters, that now that they've done that, like, they're free to do whatever they want to. Like, they don't have to justify how this works. Like, they're just gonna do it, you know? Well, their powers are so, like, huge. Okay, so do it, you know? Like, they've earned that. They have a free ride, basically, from now on, to tell the stories they want with the characters they want in the medium that they want. And everything is just gravy for me. Like, there's no real losing for me.
No.
Unless they screw up the mutant stuff.
See, for me, everything just kind of seems scattershot, because it is kind of starting over. So now they're just kind of like shooting you in so many different directions. Where with the Infinity Saga, they had like a very linear path to get to Endgame, so everything kind of had to fit that mold, and it made it cohesive to kind of make everything seem like it all fit together. And now it's also all over the place. And also for me, like, I don't really care, but like, see, in the Infinity Saga, I had characters that I latched onto and I really liked. Like, I really liked Tony Stark, and I really liked Steve Rogers. I don't really have a character in this new phase that I'm like super invested into, that I care about their arc or their journey so much. I'm kind of
I get that. I'm
kind of waiting for someone to like come into the fold and really excite me, but that just, it hasn't happened. Like a lot of these younger new characters they're introducing, your
Maybe
Kate
it'll be
Bishop's.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Oscar Isaac, but from what I've seen in that show, it just doesn't look very interesting to me. I don't know. I really like Daredevil.
Have they shown anything?
Yeah, they showed some. They've shown like
stills.
They showed.
I guess there was that little.
They had a teaser reel for it or whatever for Disney Plus Day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like 10 seconds long, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really short.
And I think 6 of it was showing like the title Moon Knight.
I mean, it was like him.
That's all we know, is that Oscar Isaac's gonna be in it.
It was like him and like a.
That's it.
It was like him and like some like. Looked like some warehouse or whatever, and then it was like him like jumping rooftops or some shit, and then like
looking at a mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, and then him looking at a mirror. I don't know. It's whatever. You know, you guys. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon too. You got Blade. I've always liked Thor, and I really like Taika Waititi, so I'm kind of hoping Thor: Love and Thunder is that film that kind of jumpstarts my fandom a bit.
You know that film's gonna be a freaking mess.
Yeah, because I super loved Thor Ragnarok. So I'm kind of I have high expectations for that film because of Thor Ragnarok and because of what Taika Waititi can do as a director. So there's stuff on the horizon that excites me. It's just there hasn't been anything that's done it so far. And you know, I watched Shang-Chi, and that was a good film. I enjoyed it. You know, I've enjoyed for the most part a lot of this stuff. It's just none of it's really memorable, if that makes sense. It's just kind of like you watch it and then it's just like, bleh, it's whatever. Just kind of killing time.
Time to wait for where that person comes in next.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just I feel like it's all just kind of like killing time, waiting for something to happen, I guess. That's kind of how it feels.
Well, you know, like if we didn't have a pandemic, we would have hit a lot of those things by now.
Yeah.
So it's just, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And for me, I kind of wish it was like a year-long gap before we got something, because it kind of would have given me a respite from this. You know what I mean?
It was though, between Endgame and then Spider-Man. But then like Spider-Man and Black Widow, like there was a huge old jump between those two things.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't long enough.
Yeah, Black Widow. Remember, Black Widow missed its date by over a year.
Yeah, it could have missed more.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
That wasn't a good film.
No, the world needs Yelena. The world needs Yelena.
I mean,
we should have gotten her earlier.
I like that.
Earlier, yes.
I like that actress, but
you didn't like Yelena?
No. None of these characters do anything for me. I don't know. I just don't.
And this is why you need to finish Hawkeye.
Like who is the female Loki in that show? Like I liked her, but you know, don't even remember her name. Besides just female Loki, so it's just like. So yeah, I don't know. It's all kind of just the.
It's all good.
Yeah, I wish I liked it more.
We got more stuff coming. So
wish I liked it more.
She liked it more. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my last one. That was the last one for you guys. And we're gonna really dive into Phase 4 later on for the listeners out there. It's another tease. We got an episode coming up where we kind of just do like a deep dive breakdown, sort of pulse check on Phase 4. So we're going to be talking a lot more about it. So I got some stuff to wrap up. You know, I got to watch Eternal still, and
which will be on Disney Plus soon.
Yeah,
should be later this week.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the time of this recording. It's like the 12th or something, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's on my radar. Wrap up Hawkeye. I don't think I'll watch No Way Home.
What If?
Yeah, I think I'll just skip What If.
Just watch like 2 episodes from it. You'll be good.
Okay, well, you guys
they're really casual watches. It's not like something you have to like sit there and intensely watch or anything.
Oh, trust me, I don't intensely watch really any of this Marvel stuff, so I feel like it's all pretty casual.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all like 20 minutes or something like that. They're all pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need to finish Star Wars Visions first.
They tell some good stories.
And then I'll get into What If. But I need to finish.
Okay.
I need to finish Visions first. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna ramble on forever about this. That's for a later episode. We'll take a deeper look into that. But yeah. Anybody got another? Wish you liked it more? No? I'm sure as soon as we stop, we'll think of like 10 more each.
Probably.
Like, oh. Yeah, so.
That's
all right.
how it works.
Yeah. All right, so that'll probably do it for us. We'll go ahead and wrap up here. Thanks for listening. If you can, check out the social media pages on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and give us a follow, and make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review if you want to. I know Spotify just updated their review stuff, so you can do it right there on the podcast page. You can hit us up on email at dmasteredpodcast@gmail.com. Send us in questions or comments or whatever. If we get any good questions, we'll answer them on the show. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. We're continuing on in this podcast journey, just started the new year, so a lot of content to come. So we just really appreciate you guys out there that are lending us your ears. So really, so we really appreciate it. So yeah, now we will you'll hear from us next week.